Good morning, everybody. How's everybody this morning? Your week is going well. Welcome to Armored Core 6 of Rubicon. And you may be wondering why I'm playing this, because good morning, everybody. Because I just forgot to mute my YouTube preview there. Yeah, because look, let's face it, what am I known for on the channel? I mean, The Long Dark, various cozy games like Absu, Journey, Sky, Children of the Light. Warframe is not quite the same. This seems a little out of character, possibly. Well, the thing is, you don't know my gaming history, and I actually have quite a liking for mech games. It goes back quite a long way, back to before the days of, say, Sony's consoles. The very first mech game I remember playing was Earthsiege and Earthsiege 2, which were remarkably good, I felt, for the time. There was Star Siege, and the unrelated, except by name, Star Siege Tribes on the PS2. But on Sony's consoles, up to the PlayStation Portable, I played pretty much every single Armored Core game I could get my hands on, including one in Japanese, because I mistakenly thought that I could navigate the screens without understanding Japanese, which turned out not to be true. So I played the American version when that eventually came out. So I've been without an Armored Core for nearly 2 decades, since the PlayStation 2. Simple reason, I didn't have a PS3 or PS4. Circumstances didn't really let me indulge myself at that point. But when I found out the other day that Armored Core was available on Steam, and furthermore was Steam Deck certified, I pretty much knew at some point I was going to have to try it. Now, I'm not playing on Steam Deck, I'm playing on a Linux box. But Steam Deck certification generally seems to mean I can play it on a Linux box, because my system has a modicum of similarity to a Steam Deck. Both are Linux-based operating systems. Both use AMD chips and GPUs. Good chance that it's going to work, and so far it does. Now, all I've done in this game so far is make sure it runs. That's pretty much what I've done. And I'll show you what my settings are. Now, the first thing I'm going to observe is this looks and feels like a what would you describe it as? Yeah, it's a conversion of a console game. And let's see if we want borderless window, because that tends to work better, because that enables me to alt tab off the screen without any particular problems. So that's a good thing. You can see my screen resolution, you can see the frame rate. I generally play at 60 frames a second when I'm streaming, because I'm streaming at 60 frames a second. V-Sync's on. I haven't got HDR on. Apparently I don't have an HDR compatible display, it reckons. I'm going to leave the brightness. That's for HDR. Yes, I've done this. So the settings are set to high, as it happens. Well, high custom. So anti-aliasing is switched off, because at higher resolutions you technically don't need it, and I doubt you'll notice, to be honest, when it's been streamed onto YouTube. Motion blur I always switch off because I don't see the point of it, and yeah, it only applies to the garage. I don't care, therefore. Now, one thing I normally do is I comment on how much this is impacting system performance, and I can look over here and say, well, right now the GPU is sort of ticking over. The GPU fans probably aren't on. The CPU is hovering at 17-18% utilization, running quite cool. This is not particularly demanding so far. Now, the one thing I should point out is that because I did love the PSX and PS2 Armored Cores, I am somewhat biased. So hopefully I will try and be objective in this. Good morning, Janitor Jerry. Yes. Well, well, well. Where was I? Yeah, so my first observation really is that this is... It feels like a PS4 game that has been translated, or PS5 game that has been translated to PC. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you'll notice that, oh, it's available on Xbox. You'll notice that in the control settings, it assumes you're using a controller, which I'm not. And that is interesting. And you'll notice there is not much. These are all controller settings, which is concerning. Now, I happen to know that you can, in fact, change this, but I'm not sure where. Input device settings. That is not the most obvious option. So I do have key bindings for keyboard and mouse, which I'll almost certainly modify. And yes, okay, we can change this. So this is going to be something I look at as I go through the game. Not hugely complex controls, it looks like, which would be reasonable. But, you know, at least keyboard and mouse is supported. It is odd to me that it's not immediately obvious. I don't have controller vibration, of course. So we'll just switch that off. I have no idea what that is. The target assist is, as far as I recall, a standard feature, and it's not completely unreasonable. Not in a game of this type. Well, you'll see. You're piloting a highly technologically advanced war machine, if you like. So target control, automatic targeting, quite reasonable. It's a feature which exists in modern jets, for example. I think tanks have it. They can keep track of multiple targets. So this is a, you know, having maintained target assist, not going to worry me too much. Yeah, this is a little bit disconcerting. Yeah, the online feature is there is PvP. Yeah. Yeah, that Jerry there is correct. Controller settings would be better. Input device settings is not immediately intuitive to me. But okay. This continue, by the way, is simply because I started just to make sure it was working. Don't worry. I'm going to go with new game. Now, the first thing I'm going to comment here is that my memory says on PSX and PS2, if I remember, even before the new game, in what used to be called a tracked mode, main screen mode, I think you would actually have CGI or gameplay montage with music and so on and so forth, and it could be quite it was very well done. It was quite exciting, to be honest, even to me, and I wasn't exactly a young man at the time. I would have been in my 30s, early 30s, when I first played Armored Core, half a lifetime ago. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. At some point I'll probably try PvP, but I'll probably be embarrassingly bad at it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. PvP, by the way, has been part of the Armored Core series since the PS2. I've never had the opportunity to set it up because it was not internet based. You basically had to have a couple of people together and network their PS2s locally. I don't recall there being any form of online play for that. But then that was during when was the PS2 out? Yeah, that was 20 years ago, wasn't it? So let's go. Interesting thing, doesn't seem to be a difficulty setting, which is either nice or slightly intimidating. We'll find out. Right. Let's see what happens. It's always slightly disconcerting when your screen just goes black like that.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device. Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
That's interesting. I remember in the original game,
Time to get to work, 621.
You could deliberately put yourself in debt in the game to get augmentations.
On my signal.
And so that was a thing we used to do. Deliberately go into debt to get those benefits, which included, for me, one of the most useful things was you could fire certain weapons from your shoulders without stopping. So you could fire and move. I will be very curious to see how much of it has stayed in place. Because, I mean, how old is this series now? 25 years? Slightly older than that. One of the things about the game which we may get into, I'm not sure if we'll get into it during this section, is the ability to customize your armored core. You can literally build one from the ground up. I mean, using standard parts, but and the GPU is not stressing, and the CPU is not stressing.
Descent to ISB 2262, Rubicon 3, complete.
It looks impressive, that's the funny thing.
135.
And yet, as you'll find out, this is a rather clunky.
There's a catapult ahead. Use it to close the gap.
Compared with what you can build later. Oh, really? Okay.
Main system activating combat mode.
All right. Let's see. Camera. Looks good. Looks nice. Running smoothly. Yeah, GPU is at 76% of utilization. Nope, I don't have any builds in mind. One of the fun things for me was doing that kind of stuff, especially for arena mode. But that's later. This is me just getting started. Let's see what we got. It's a very... Anybody who's familiar with the older games, this looks very, very familiar. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more or less exactly the same as yeah, some of the very, very earliest games. As for builds, I'm trying to remember. What I do remember, and I'm sorry, yes, I know I'm not dashing through this as a playthrough. I remember, oh grief, there were things you used to do, and we'll see what happens. But you used to make money by completing missions, and you were charged for ammunition expenditure. So what you tended to do during missions was use energy weapons for which there was no charge. You also used the most heavily armed and armored cores for missions, whereas for arena mode you didn't necessarily. You might want a lighter mech that could fly, and it depended on the AI. It was actually fairly easy to spoof the AI in arena mode, but we'll see. But you can see I have, I think that is limited ammunition. So you don't get to just blast away. You actually do have to monitor your ammunition expenditure. And this looks surprisingly familiar. Oh, nice to know that the boost works. Boost is one thing that I remember you used to have to husband very carefully, because otherwise you'd be out of energy, which would not necessarily be desirable. This looks pretty awesome. I can actually sort of see the effects of lack of anti-aliasing, so I might switch that on. Actually, let's try that, if you don't mind. Let's go back to the graphics settings. Let's switch that on and see whether that makes any difference. Yes, it does. That makes a significant difference. Look, you can see that. And how's that affecting the GPU? Not at all. Because I think anti-aliasing is actually software. And the CPU, no, it is not being particularly stressed by that. So that's good. Yeah, and you can see your energy bar there. This feels very familiar, it has to be said. Just so far, this is kind of nice. Okay. Moves more slowly than I remember, but that's just me. I think targeting range changes later on. I'm trying to think. Hang on, while I got the opportunity. Aha, that's your sword, and this is Got it. Not quite the way I'd have set it up, but that's fine. Target assist. Ah, E, right hand shoulder weapon. Got it. No, I don't necessarily. That's different. Yeah, gonna get a bit of getting used to that. Yeah, that's going to take some getting used to. I never actually used the sword much in the original games. I found it clunky and unnecessary. Ooh. I've got to find out. Can I jump down here? I can. Hold E. Huh, okay. It's going to be interesting to see if I can get out. I assume I can. I'm already in trouble, but then that's my fault for
50%.
That's my fault for taking things too slow. And I'm just interested in looking around a bit at this point. You're not on a timeline. Hold E, yeah. That's it looks good. It looks very good. They've still got the walk over something and things get destroyed aspect. Gives you some idea just how big the mech is. Yeah, I must admit, I don't like this. This is a little bit daft, but this is actually true to the originals from what I remember. And I don't know how you actually repair. Yeah, that's... Use repair kits. Huh.
Your AC's taken damage. Patch it up.
2 repair kits remaining.
Nice. That's a nice one. From what I recall, those weren't part of the original game. You literally had to go through. That can't just blow into that and blow it up. And this constant speed, I don't remember there being a run function. There was a boost function instead, which is that whole tab.
See the contaminated city down there? That's where you're landing. Access the catapult.
Awfully tempted to jump off and see what happens. And you can replace or build all kinds of things with this. I mean, in memory, I don't know what it's like now, but you used to have to juggle things like weight limits, energy generation, artificial intelligence, the weight of each component.
If we get our hands on Rubicon's coral, we'll make a killing. Plenty for a merc with a fried brain like you to buy their life back. Enough chat, back to work. Scavenge the AC wrecks ahead and find a valid mercenary license. We're illegals here. You'll need ID to operate.
Let's see how this works out. And I'm out of range to hit them.
An AC! Where the hell did that come from? Affiliation unknown. Shut it down!
Guerrillas from the Liberation Front. They'll get in the way of our work. Eliminate them.
All of which looks a heck of a lot more the same. Ooh, that's interesting. D and shift boost? Oh, it's that one. Oh, and the trees fall down. I'm not sure. Okay, having shift over there underneath my left thumb is going to be interesting.
Picking up signals from AC wrecks. Follow the markers.
We're being attacked!
Unidentified AC! Return fire!
Well, it has to be said. Not dissimilar to what I think I'm used to in terms of control. It's just a bit odd. I think my gameplay style has changed over the years. There was a time I would never have dreamed of doing that. Or that I've been playing too much Warframe. Whoops.
Unidentified AC! Is that a corpse scout?
Shoot first. Ask questions later.
Deal with them, 61.
At 50%.
Need to keep an eye on my ammo. Where am I headed? Over there.
One repair kit remaining.
Got to remember, conserve your ammunition. I only have so much of it. And yeah, the accidental slash is there because I keep thinking it's a different mouse button.
Corp AC. Wait, is that an independent? Destroy it!
You're outnumbered 6-1. Use your missiles.
Ah, that was excessive. Come on, give me a lock on. I'm not moving fast enough. That's going to be something I learn. I should be able to get a lock on for that, but apparently...
Light shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Yeah. Still. Kind of.
Extract the pilot data. I'll analyze it from my end. It's still valid, but the pilot's rank is no good. We can't use this. Head to the next wreck.
Sorry, the temptation to simply sit and look around is actually quite high. This always kind of was a feature. I think this sort of industrial society thing that you're seeing here developed because I remember some of the very early games, because it was a PS1. You didn't have the capacity to really generate such massive looking environments. And again, I'm just looking at the GPU and CPU. I reckon there's a good chance I could run this at 100 frames a second if I wasn't streaming. CPU is interesting. I know I'm supposed to be playing through the mission, but this is a first impression, so I talk about things other than the game. Well, other than the gameplay. The CPU is interesting. It is very nicely multi-threaded. I've got nice even distribution of processing load across 8 cores and 16 threads, which is very nice to see. There are games still which depend heavily on single threading. I'm trying to think. Sky is an absolute classic example. Minecraft used to be. It's less so these days, strangely. But if you ever pull up your resource utilization and you see a CPU running at 100% or consistently in the very high, it's probably primarily a single-threaded game. Multi-threading is hard, it has to be said. And they seem to have done a pretty good job on this. Yeah. I could probably run this at higher graphics settings at 60 frames a second. Alright. Oh, they haven't got the bounce. Oh, that's interesting. There used to be a thing you could do, and maybe it'll happen later, but you'll notice if I just drift. Oh, maybe. But you used to be able to sort of bounce in the air and recharge some of your energy in the air, and then use that. There's a couple of helicopters over there, and I don't have the range. You can, in principle, it used to be quite possible, even though you didn't have a lock-on, you could plink things like that. Let's, just for the fun of it, let's see if I can yes, you probably could with this. Yes, it's awfully close. Be interested to see. This is interesting. Yeah. Whoa, it's proving tougher than expected. But not hugely so. You know, there's actually a good chance I'm going to run out of ammo in this, which would be hilarious. Although there's always the...
Mystery! We got something good!
Get out of there!
Whoa!
That's the PCA's planetside force. Keep a low profile. We don't want them breathing down our necks. Analyzing.
It's not my first time playing Armored Core, but it's been 20 years since I last did. So this is my first Armored Core game in about 20 years. And definitely the first one on PC. No, it's not. My first AC game goes back to the original Armored Core on the PS1. I played extensively on PS1, PS2, and PlayStation Portable. I played all the Armored Cores I could get. And then there came a hiatus for various reasons.
There! That's the AC from the report!
Find out who they're working for.
Looks like they've got shields. Good thing you've got a blade.
Right shoulder ammunition at 30%.
So yeah, so I won't be as smooth and as practiced as
License.
people who played more recently. Feels very similar, to be honest.
This one's already expired. I've picked up one more Rec 621. Transmitting marker. Go and check it out.
It's probably easier with controller. I'm on keyboard and mouse, but that's fine. But some of it actually feels very similar. Hey, that's quite a vista. Nice to see you can still avoid the missiles. They used to have missile defense systems in. I assume they still do. But yeah, one of the things one of the tricks you used to be able to do in arena mode sometimes was stand way out of range and blink things, even though you didn't have a Oops, sorry. Hang on. My apologies. I seem to have managed to bring up my... Excuse me a second. Right. Sorry. System set up and I accidentally hit the wrong button. Yeah, there's that one still, and that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move some of the buttons at some point, but any difference in control, it's very hard for me to judge because I'm used to playing this with a controller on console, and so this is for me first time with keyboard and mouse in the game. Oh, okay. I didn't know there was a...
You can use that vertical catapult to get some altitude. That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What?
AP.
Looks like they were onto you after all. In no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. It doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
AP at 30%.
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
Right shoulder ammunition at 10%. AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
I've run out of ammunition. I was not expecting that, and I took too long. I've actually got a lot to learn about this, clearly. Was not expecting that.
That's it. Try accessing the wreck. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. In no mood to pick a fight with the PCA.
Oh, hit the border. No wonder I was having trouble there.
At 30.
Okay. A little harder than I remember, it has to be said. Yeah, gonna take some fiddling to get used. I'm not blaming
That's it.
the system. This is purely me.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you. We've got them now. They can kill 621. We got what we came for. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 30%. 2 repair kits remaining. AP at 50%.
Come on.
AP at 30%.
Oh, great.
AP at 50%. At 30%.
Hey, little nugget. Is it? Ah. Remind me not to run into the game border. Not too bad. How are you? Were you able to get your glasses situation sorted? All right.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. No room to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Come on.
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 50%.
No. Can't even get on top of it like I did last time. And I'm getting confused with my old Warframe controls too. I'm trying to use the slash with the wrong cut button.
AP at 30%.
And that's me done again. Oh no! Yeah, don't run into the game board is probably fairly good advice. This is actually more challenging than I expected on the first mission. I don't remember this in the past. How did you lose $10,000 in cattle?
Try accessing the rack.
Oh, hang on.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What?
Whoa!
We're on to you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 50%.
Drat! Remind me not to go near the border.
AP at 30%. AP at 50%.
Not doing well here. Oh, I haven't.
At 30%. No repair kits remaining. AP at 30%.
Oh, that's not fair. It can go beyond the blasted border. I think I do have auto lock on. Hang on, let's see. I thought I did have auto lock on. It would be hilarious if I spent the entire stream.
That's it. Try accessing the rack. Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were on to you after all.
Come on!
To pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%. Two repair kits remaining. AP at 50%.
Good grief.
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions.
I'm using the energy very badly.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Did From Software carry over their notoriously difficult combat in other games into this one? Or is this just me? It's probably just me, isn't it? This is the disadvantage to live streaming. I don't get to edit this out to make it look like I know what I'm doing.
That's it. Try accessing the
I still want to know what call sign is so surprised at. Alright.
registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What?
Oh, I keep doing this.
Take it out now. They won't have enough to ID you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There we go. Oh, it's the blasted border again.
At 30%.
Yeah, I keep my warframe. Yeah. My warframe reflexes keep kicking in, so when I want to get in with a slash, I keep firing shoulder missiles instead. Silliness on my part. Right. Yeah, it's alright. I'll work it through eventually. If anybody was watching me last night, it took me 2 hours to finish off, what was it, Octavia's Anthem? Because the final part of it was this endless hop, jump. Yeah. But yeah, no, I can actually recognize my own deficiencies. I keep going for E because I'm used to melee combat, and so therefore I keep hitting E for melee combat when I should be hitting right mouse. So it's not intuitive at the moment. Of course, what this is going to do for my Warframe gameplay, I have no idea. I also need to do the energy management better. Yeah, there's so much I've actually got to learn to handle that kind of fight a lot better than I am. I also need to possibly start figuring out. I've got a couple of extra buttons on here that I'm not using that I actually do use in Warframe, particularly for things like boost. So my hand's all over the keyboard here, and this isn't an excuse, by the way. This is me just not being very good at it yet. But my left hand has some nerve damage here. It actually makes it kind of difficult to feel where the keys are, which is why I normally map things like Control and Shift over onto the two side buttons on the mouse. But that's a me thing. Of course, if I do that, or when I do that, I'm going to have to learn that as well. And I'm not entirely certain that the auto aim is actually being toggled on and off, because it says it's the middle mouse button, and I'm not sure that it is. So what I'm going to do, this is not intended to be a tutorial, of course, for everybody. This is just me playing the game. Oh, hang on. Hopefully in a mildly entertaining fashion. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take a quick break, which is traditional for me on the hour mark, especially when I've been drinking coffee extensively for the last 3 hours. and then I'll be back. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Oh, well, I'm sorry about that, little nugget. That sounds very frustrating. Grief. Just as a general commentary on this kind of live streaming, and this applies to anybody watching who live streams, and you probably understand. There is, when you're playing solo, you can mess around with things like this. It's no big deal. When you're doing it publicly, you have to swallow that burn of embarrassment in that you're displaying your own ineptitude. Now, in my case, I deal with that by confessing to my ineptitude up front. I am not a good gamer. I'm really not. I just enjoy it. So that's hopefully what anybody gets from this. So what I'm going to do is, before we go any further, I'm going to try and remap some of the controls so that it is a little more right. So I can try and adjust for things. Key bindings. Got a suspicion I might actually adjust that at some point. Right, so forward, back, boost. Now this is the things that are causing me some problems at the moment. So what I want to do, I don't have enough buttons on my mouse. Let's see. Okay, that's all right. Left shoulder weapon and right shoulder weapon, that's okay. It doesn't affect my little finger. And it's my little finger that you reach out for that causes some of the problem. Special controls, shift control, access, scan, purge weapon option, okay. All right. Nope. Now hang on a second. It's not recognizing target assist. That central button isn't working. And that's disconcerting. Okay, that is potentially problematic. It's not recognizing, I don't think it's recognizing buttons on the mouse. Nope. Let's see. It wants... It's not recognizing my mouse. Yeah, look. I don't know whether you can see. I'm trying to get this to work. And it's not registering my mouse buttons. Now, where is it? There. Nope. It's not registering the mouse buttons. Oh, that's infuriating. There's got to be... mouse. Yes! Okay, my bad. Should have specified down here. Let's see whether this is actually working. Yes, it is. Okay, my bad. I actually have to make sure I'm properly lined up on this. As a purely this is off. Other games that I've played where you basically do your key bindings for keyboard and mouse don't have separate columns. Now, this has got positives and benefits because it means I can actually set up mouse and keyboard and have duplicate functionality. So that's actually a good thing. But I am actually used to having key bindings detect mouse clicks, and it's not doing that, which is somewhat disconcerting. But let's see. Okay, so what do I need to map? And now I've got to kind of take into account the fact that I can't feel very well with my parts of my left hand. Let's see. This is actually okay. This I can get used to. The Q and E. I would rather have the slash, as the E button, because that's what I'm used to in Warframe. Except that this is actually intuitive, more or less intuitive for left and right shoulder weapons. So I wonder. Ooh. No, okay. I do have a button that it doesn't register. It's actually right underneath my thumb, and it's not registering that at all. That is a bit disconcerting. Okay. Alright, let's go back up. Yeah, space for jump ascend is fine. Assault boost. So we'll do that. And yeah, that shift. Tab's not so bad, actually. Yeah, no, I didn't want to do that. Tab's alright. I can reach that. So space, so I want to change quick boost and assault boost. So that becomes there and there. That would be better. Okay. That's not great. They should ask you to confirm. Because I am now, under normal circumstances, not positive that this has been saved. They should actually say confirm. Not great. It's okay, but not great. I am very tempted to increase the graphic settings just to see what happens, but I'm not going to just yet. Oh, there's a photo mode. Oh, look at that. Huh. That's nice. Okay.
That's it. Try accessing the rack.
Let's see if this makes things any better.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. In no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 50%.
Oh, I've run into that. I'm not sure that made things any more intuitive. I think viewers are dropping off when they realize I'm not an expert.
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What?
Still haven't gotten used to that. Ah, yeah. I keep getting close and then forgetting to use the right mouse button. Ah, yeah.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Come on. Why isn't the slash working? Well, it is, but it's not doing it when I want to. Oh, slash is dependent on energy.
At 30%.
Yep, and I keep doing the wrong button. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. And I'm right up against the border, which doesn't help.
AP at 50%.
Okay, I'm starting to get the hang of it.
AP at 30%.
Okay. Getting there. That was better. Not as good as the time that I started out on top of the helicopter, but getting there. Be assured, by the way, if I get tired of this, by the way, that is something that will happen. I've done it in the past where you simply get frustrated, you need to walk away, take a break. I may end up doing something like this. Or, because I'm live streaming, I can simply sit down and make up my own script, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. Because now I can switch and talk about system utilization. And it's been... I can also use that as an excuse. I can say, oh, I'm distracted as much by trying to analyze what I'm about to say, analyze the gameplay, and give some idea about how this is going to affect your system. It's been this has been good. Now, granted, a lot of my past commentary on system utilization was affected by the fact that I was using software encoding to do the streaming. Hardware encoding takes a huge load off your CPU. Normally, this would be 30 to 40% CPU utilization. Yeah, that high for software encoding. But I've switched to hardware. Now, obviously, that kicks up GPU utilization, but the GPU has specialized hardware for encoding, I think. In fact, I know it does. So, you know, I don't know. I could probably, at a guess, from what I'm seeing, I could probably manage 90 to 100 frames a second on this screen with these settings. So, yeah, let's start this. There's This isn't the first time I've seen gameplay, by the way. I did very briefly see somebody else who had done a complete playthrough of the game. Edited, it was 9 hours, and no, I just watched bits because I wanted some idea whether I was going to want to get this thing.
What? Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
I found it's this particular guy and he's been around for about 7 years.
2 repair kits remaining.
And apparently, somehow, on the day of release, he managed to get a complete playthrough, edited, and made it look like he'd know what he was doing. And this was on the day of release. How he did that, I have no idea. And now, obviously, with editing, you can make yourself look good. And I'm not an editor, don't have an editor. Purely solo operation.
AP at 50%.
So I don't know how anybody could do this. Apparently is sort of 17 hours of gameplay if you get everything more or less right, 50 hours if you do anything. This guy managed apparently to do the whole thing, all endings, on the same day. It's like, yeah, I mean, maybe he had early access, but I mean, there are times, you know, when you watch people's stuff and it's like, how on earth did they manage to do so much in so little time? Yes, if he had early access, that would explain it. Would he have gotten early access to, this was the PS5 version of the game. Does Sony give out early access copies to favored reviewers? I suppose this guy has about, and I can't remember his name because his videos are impressive. But yeah, the only way he could really technically have done it would be if he'd had access to the game significantly earlier than everybody else. And I don't know if Sony does that kind of thing. I suppose they do, don't they? Yeah, they do hand out pre-release stuff for reviewers, don't they? So I suppose if, you know, he has what, 2.7 million subscribers right now, I suppose it's possible, but maybe it's my cynicism. It's like some of the people who do 100 days in Minecraft and they release these on a fairly regular basis. It's like, do you know how long it takes to get 100 days in Minecraft recording?
Try accessing the rack.
And then edited. I mean, a day in Minecraft is 20 minutes. So, you know, you do the 100 days, 20 minutes. That's a lot of recording to get in. And you've got to script it. Is it? As long, of course, as you don't irritate Sony. I going back a long time ago when I was actually writing video game reviews for fun.
Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
2 repair kits remaining.
Oh, I tried. Oh, that's cheating.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%. One repair kit remaining.
I'm gonna have to drag this thing away from the...
AP at 30%.
Oh, look at that. It wants to...
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
This, I can't remember the person I'm talking about. I got the impression he doesn't do commentary, so it's just the video. Now, sometimes I've watched some playthroughs like they were movies, not of this, but of other games. There are some games out there which are great for long term, just stick it up on the screen, have it in the background. You don't have someone like me talking through it. And it's like watching a movie. It's 9, 12 hours long. And it can be quite entertaining and distracting, especially during COVID it was. When I ran out of, Silent Witness to watch, because I binge watched Silent Witness during COVID. So I don't think it's just this one person. I think it's a team. It's very slickly done. It's very well done. That does... Yeah, sometimes I feel that when you've got more than just, say, the YouTuber themselves and an editor, when it starts to get into a team, sometimes I feel it's getting away from the original intent of YouTube. But, you know, I'm getting into a digression, aren't I? To distract from the fact that I can't get through this mission. Most of the YouTube channels I think I watch are pretty much solo efforts or solo and an editor, because editing is a very distinct skill. It's surprisingly hard to do. Trust me. So sometimes I feel, when you've got whole teams or whole corporations backing a YouTube channel, I sometimes feel it's getting away from the whole point. I suppose it depends on what the subject matter is. PBS Eons obviously has got the PBS behind it. So, okay, I'm making excuses already, but I still favor those channels where it's clearly a fairly limited number of people. But there's a bunch of those out there. I mean, if you're interested in anthropology, Gutsy Gibbon, I think, is pretty much a solo operation. I think she does everything herself. I'm not sure about Tasting History with Max Miller. I think he has himself, and I think his partner, and I don't know if there's anybody else doing the editing, but there are those, who do entertaining, good quality videos, and it's just one or two people. And I feel that sometimes that's actually what YouTube should be. The Mr. Beast approach, I think, has done a lot of damage to YouTube. But, sorry, I'm going off on a needless tangent to distract from my own frustration.
That's it. Try accessing the rack.
I ought to call this Fires of Rubicon. The struggle is real. Alright, let's get away from the world border.
23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign.
Oh, that's not the world border I wanted to get away with, and I...
Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight.
Where are
with the
they?
PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you.
Come on. I got up there, and the stupid thing wouldn't slash at for me. Oh, come on. How do I switch boost off?
AP at 50%.
Why isn't boost a toggle? Oh, no, didn't want to do that.
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
AP at 30%. One repair kit remaining.
Can't switch boost off.
No repair kits remaining.
I can't switch boost off.
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is definitely that. It's one of those things where you... Yeah, I need to work on the controls a bit. I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, let's see. I suppose it's inevitable. The corporations and groups get involved with it because it's an obvious source of potentially making yourself a lot of money. Now, most people, of course, don't. We can't all be Dream, for example, who, last time I checked, his net worth was in the millions. But even he has a team. I mean, there's him, there's his editor, there's whoever writes his mods, there's his friends, for example, who get involved in the Manhunt or his SMP back in the day. I can only assume they got paid. But on the other hand, he did good content. I mean, you can say what you like about Dream, and I can be deeply critical about him, not for his content, strangely, but for other things. So yeah, I'm conflicted a lot when it comes to YouTube. And by the way, if anybody's watching, you're watching as much for me talking as you are for the quality gameplay. Yeah, that's sarcasm, by the way. And yes, I do talk about all kinds of subjects given half a chance and depending on what I think about at the time. I once sat down and on 2 separate live streams read the end-user license agreement for Sky Children of the Light. It's still one of my most watched videos, even if most people didn't actually watch the entire thing. Every so often, clips from that pop up on YouTube Studio. People wanting to know how to, can I use mods with this game? Can I how to get your data erase, that sort of thing. Every so often somebody comes along and watches that, and all I'm doing is reading the official position, and sometimes with some commentary. All right, let's see if I can't.
That's it. Try accessing the rack.
I will say gameplay is a lot easier when I'm not trying to entertain at the same time. I'm an entertainer, baby.
23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. And no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now, they won't have enough to ID you. Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosion. You've got them now. Make it count, 621.
How do I turn boost off? Okay, that's a bit of a problem. Why is boost on?
We got what we came for. Tie up the loose end, 621.
Why? Okay. Oh, you stinking helicopter. You just had to retreat behind the world border, didn't you?
AP at 50%. AP at 30%.
If I can just get up there and stand on it, got a better shot.
AP at 50%. At 30%.
It used to be interesting, actually. One of the things that were implied when you destroyed an armored core was that you got an eject, as I recall, and I'm not seeing that now. Now it's a case of dead. Ah. All right, I'm going to give you a confession here. My frustration levels are rising somewhat with this. I need to take a break, come back, and do it again. So I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. I'm probably going to have to restart the mission, but that's fine. Yeah. I'm not going to push through with no particular gain occurring. So I will return to this. I am not going to complete this mission off camera, so the next time you see me playing this, we'll be attempting this again. I'll probably have to restart the mission. So, but I will be back in about 2.5 hours with the Long Dark. But the first point of this actually was to do a first impressions. What's my impressions of it? It's good. It's fairly obviously a PS5 game that's been ported to PC. There's aspects to it which are clearly designed for with a console assumption. I haven't fiddled with the frame rate, so but the fact that it's locked in at 60 from the start is interesting, because that's, you know, fairly typical console frame rate. Perfectly playable. I will say this, nice and smooth. Didn't see any particular stutters. I do recommend for this game you switch on anti-aliasing if your system supports it. It does actually make a difference. Sometimes I find anti-aliasing doesn't make that much of a difference. This one, yeah, even I could see it, and I'm not good at spotting that sort of thing. Definitely. I don't know what, honestly, I don't know whether it's worth the money. Now that is something. That's something I didn't mention. I hesitated about getting it because of the money. This is not a cheap game. This is what, £50 for the base game, and I got the deluxe because I wanted the soundtrack. I'll probably do something with the soundtrack at some point, as I have in the past. I've got to arrange to get access to it. It's a bit weird the way they've done the soundtrack. Still, but actually, that's another aspect of it that makes it feel more like a console game. You can get the artwork and the soundtrack. By the way, the soundtrack cost on top of the base cost is not untypical for soundtrack stuff. Soundtracks can cost sort of £7 or £8. That's the extra I paid to get it. Is it worth that kind of money? That's the thing. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's going to be dependent in the end on how, for example, the assembly, the arena mode, the replay value, PvP. I question whether it's so far worth even £50 for the base. I really do. Hey, Christina. Yes, it is. And as Christina has just joined, I will demonstrate my ineptitude one more time for the restart from checkpoint. So, but let me finish off my thinking regarding is it worth it? It's a perfectly slick, well done game. I'm compromised because I'm just starting it and learning it, and I've got a whole set of reflexes to build up. I've also got 20-year-old misconceptions about how to play it that are still in my head, strangely enough. I've got to learn the keyboard, and I can tell I'm having problems with the keyboard, by the way. Do you know how I can tell I'm having problems with the keyboard control? I keep putting caps lock on, which means my precision for finding keys is all over the place. But is it worth your 50 to £60 for the game? At half the price, the simple answer would be absolutely yes, unquestionably. It's going to take a while for me to actually come to a conclusion. And part of that conclusion is also going to be from views and subscriptions that I get streaming it. You know, if it turns out it's a popular streaming game and people enjoy watching me fail repeatedly and talk about that, then yes, actually that might have well been worth it. But that's not a metric that most people get to use. I think it's overpriced, to be honest with you. I really do. I know that for something like a AAA title, or a title from what might be considered to be a AAA company, £50 is fairly typical, except that when I look at my installed games or the games that I've got, none of them cost this much. Minecraft doesn't. What have I got? Sky Children of the Light is free with in-game purchases, so I've probably spent more than £50 in that, but it's spread over time. Warframe, I don't think I've spent 50 quid on Warframe in-game yet. I don't think I'm even vaguely close, but Warframe is free. And so therefore there is absolutely no question about value for money for that. Journey is not that expensive and quite replayable, and so therefore worth every penny. I could go through my whole playlist so I could see it, which I can't right now. But, and the other thing to bear in mind too is that how much do games like Cyberpunk cost? Or Grand Theft Auto? They're in the £50 range, aren't they? Or Red Dead Redemption, not games I've played and probably games I never will play. So if you compare the cost of those with this, is this value for money? Now, granted, that's a subjective assessment, but when you bear in mind some of the games out there which cost in the same price range and yet offer so much more. What's that one? Oh, grief. There's so far 2 games in the series. It's set in Eastern Europe and you're wandering around and you go from peasant to noble and this kind of thing. Incredibly deep role-playing game, action RPG type thing. And I think that's in the same general price range. Now that might be worth it. But this then? I'm sorry, From Software. I'm going to have to say you should have probably dropped the price of this to at most 40 quid, 40 pounds. That would be a much better deal, I think. Kingdom Come. There you go. Thank you. Yes, Kingdom Come 1 and 2. Not going to play it, probably. But as a sit on the screen and watch a playthrough, beautiful, fantastic game. They did, it's hugely in depth. You could spend a huge amount of time slowly playing through this story in a big seamless world. Fantastic. Oh, same with The Witcher. Are those worth the money? Probably yes, much more so than this. This is still good. Now, granted, I've only just scratched the surface, and part of that assessment is based on assumptions from previous games that I've played 20 years ago. But yeah, no, right now I'm going to say £50 for this game is at least £10 too much, and maybe more. But anyway, let's for Christina's benefit. Yeah, it is. So Christina, this is where I'm stuck at the moment, and I will do this before I sign off. Actually, I'm coming up for nearly 2 hours. What am I? Hour and 45 minutes. By the way, people, I'm nearly at 250 subscribers, so if one of you feels like being the 250th subscriber... Alright, where is it?
Registration number RB23. Rank fits the bill. Call sign. What? Looks like they were onto you after all. I'm in no mood to pick a fight with the PCA. But it doesn't matter. Take it out now and they won't have enough to ID you.
Where'd you go? Oh, mouse is not sensitive enough. No, it's taking too long. I need to increase the mouse sensitivity. Oh, I'm too high. Oh, and I'm at the world border, which doesn't help.
Use your mobility in the air to get clear of explosions on the ground.
Oh, yeah. So that's where I am at the moment. Stupid thing is, I'm actually enjoying that. It is very frustrating. And yes, I'm still struggling with the controls. And I'll have to work on that. Now, I'll be honest. I'm very tempted to actually try and do some work off camera. But I still won't continue the game. I guarantee you that. So I might work on that. And then next time just restart the whole thing from scratch. Maybe. That's the worst thing I'll do. So that maybe this time tomorrow, possibly, I'll have a better idea what I'm doing. But I'm going to play every single mission live. So yeah. I'm already compromising my principles, aren't I? Yeah, a little bit of practice, get used to everything. But no, like I say, I will do every single mission live, and probably do it in sequence. So yeah, what I won't be doing is continuing, even if I get this mission done, I'm not going to continue with the next mission. I'll restart so that you all can see the whole thing in sequence. Even if I have to let myself be destroyed so I can restart from checkpoint so that you can see what happens. At least to get continuity. What is Balatus? Do I have to check that? Okay, now you've got me curious here. Is that how you spell it? Oh, it's in the game? Okay, gotcha. Because I looked up Balatus and it comes up with a mushroom called Boletus. Boletus is a genus of mushroom-producing fungi comprising over 100 species. Don't think that's quite what you meant, was it? Yeah, no, I'm pretty certain that's not what you were referring to. And now I've lost my own live stream. There we go. All right. Like I say, I'll be back in Mushroom Fact of the Day. That was completely unexpected. And it's actually spelled Boletus, not Balatus, but okay. So, yeah, like I say, I'll be back in about 2 hours for the Long Dark, where we had to start another run. Because, by the way, if you didn't see it, yesterday's live stream in the Long Dark, making my way through Forlorn Muskeg, that was a lot of fun. Well, I won't spoil the ending, although I'm sure you can guess it. But as a demonstration what you can do in the Long Dark and just keep staving off disaster again and again and just keep on going and just keep going and just barely scraping by. Yesterday's live stream in Forlorn Muskeg in the Long Dark is actually worth watching if I say so myself. Anyway, right. I am going to go and do something else for a couple of hours. Warframe will be back this evening. This is not going to replace Warframe in the evenings. I will probably play this at the weekends if I'm on the day. This has now become my sort of, when I do an extra live stream like these early ones or the weekends, this is probably going to take the place of what I've done previously. Although it has to be said I might do Flower at some point. Anyway, so thank you everybody for watching. Please leave a like. Please leave a subscribe. I'd like to get up to 250. If I get to 250, my next goals by the end of my channel's year will be 260, of course. So, in the meantime, if I don't see you in a couple of hours, have a great day. If I do see you in a couple of hours, have a great day anyway. Remember to hug your Kubro. I know there are no Kubro in this game. Be kind to animals and small children, and so on and so forth. Be excellent to each other. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Trying to remember which key to press for the goodbye screen.